Show we got heart. Now we're playing the game and we're totally scoring. Learning how to make the virtue of the business boring. Showing up every morning, ready for the show. Golden Age virtue will meet is 2.0.
Hey there, this is John Chen, and you've made it to another Friday in a pandemic. And holy cow, somebody broke into my office. Who is this guy?
I'm just hanging out, sitting on the table.
Jimbo Clark is here from Taiwan. Ni hao, ni hao ma.
Hun hao, hun hao.
Oh my gosh, Jim Clark. So, Jimbo Clark, you're coming to the States, right? Number one, how excited are you to be here? Because I know that you've delayed this trip a couple times. Yeah, how excited are you to be in these United of all states?
Well, for me, this is the perfect time to be here. Partly because Taiwan has just allowed COVID in, so Taiwan is going through the first wave of COVID they've had for the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think we got 30,000, 40,000 cases, and everyone's freaking. So here, no matter how many cases you have, everyone's chill. So it's COVID only exists in your mind until it gets to your body. So this is a fun place to be. Yeah. So no, I'm happy to be here. Happy to spend time with my father. Happy to have time to hang out with humans.
Aww.
This virtual happy hour was a huge touchstone for me back in 2020. I mean, I would remember one time I even called on my motorcycle.
I was going to say, Jimbo Clark is the only person who ever put Zoom on his phone running while driving a motorcycle, and we were captivated.
Yeah.
We were captivated, right?
Well, that's important.
Okay, so speaking of captivated, right? Let's go in and first let's check into the hotel. So, Jimbo, I got you a room ready, and this room includes leprechauns.
I wish I could do a better river dance. Yeah.
Okay, and for my other friends here, let's go to the studio for a few. Oh no, wait, let's go to the backyard. Let's hang out. I know Jimbo Clark loves to be outdoors. Let's hang out in the backyard. And by the way, if you're on Facebook Live, please say hello to us. We are watching, and we do have a few guests in the studio here. So, Jimbo Clark, for my friends who have no idea who you are and what you do, which I don't understand, because once you understand and meet Jimbo Clark, you'll never forget. But for those who don't know, who are you and what do you do?
Born in Seattle, went to school just around the corner from you.
Yeah.
Moved to Taiwan in the 80s. Been there for 33 years. Started a consultancy around team development, similar to you.
Yeah.
Had a chance to, a client that asked me, can you do training on out-of-the-box thinking? I thought to myself, well, if you're going to think out of the box, what is the box? Got some cardboard, got some box cutters, brought it in for the senior management. They built boxes, stuck boxes on their heads. Ooh, in the box thinking. Took boxes off their heads, out of the box thinking. That was 11 years ago. Since then, 30,000 people have been unboxed. And shout out to all the box facilitators around the world. We have over 200 box facilitators like John Chin here around the world who can help people think differently by changing the boundaries of their thinking. We say change your box, change your world. If you can change the boundaries of your thinking, then you get new opportunities, new choices, new results.
So I love that Jimbo's here, because every time I hang out with Jimbo too, he expands my brain a little bit here too. I would love to hear the story too, because your real name wasn't Jimbo, but you became Jimbo. Can you just tell a little story of how that happened?
Well, I was Jim Clark, and my mom called me Jimmy, of course. When I went to Taiwan, I found out that Taiwanese people, in Chinese, there's no single syllable name. And so Jim Clark became Jimu Kelake. And so I would ask everybody, what does Jimu Kelake mean? And I found that Kelake is just the Chineseification of Clark. So like Kelake Gaibo is Kelake Gaibo.
Oh, I'm lost.
Clark.
Oh.
Gable.
Clark. Oh.
Clark Gable. Okay, you get this one. Okay. I forgot.
I
about
need
John
help.
Chin. Yeah, this is the John Chin level. Kenta.
Clark Kent. Yes.
Yes. So Kameo, there's no meaning, but Jimu in Taiwanese, and Jimu means chicken mother. In in fact, I found out it means the mother of all chickens. It's the chicken godmother. And so I'm the chicken godmother.
Yes, you are.
And yeah, so I didn't like being the funny,
I
funny,
know,
right?
I'm sorry,
I
it's
didn't like
funny.
being called the chicken godmother, so I
Oh.
went through a process of finding a name, and finally, I found a woman I wanted to marry.
Aw.
And in Taiwan, you got to work your way up the chain. So first you have to ask the woman,
Yep.
and she said yes the third time.
Yep.
And then you have to ask the father, and he
Yep.
said yes, but the hard one was the grandfather. So I had to go down south and drink with the grandfather and all the uncles and everyone for them to check me out.
Yeah.
And finally, Granddad said to me, "You're okay, but your name sucks." So the
And
condition.
you married a Taiwanese woman,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the condition for me to marry into this family was that he got to change my name.
Whoa.
And so we went through a process, and he gave me the name Jingbo. Jing is gold.
Okay.
Bo is wave. So the golden wave.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And Agong said, the gold will just come in. The money. It's just all you have to do is sit on the beach, and it's just going to come in. But he didn't tell me, sometimes tide goes out. But, all in all, since I've been married, I've had nothing but riches.
Aw, it's true.
It is true.
And I've met a lot of your riches.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Your amazing wife. You have cute kids. You have
Yeah.
a dog. Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful house that I've gotten to visit in Taiwan.
It's true. And we had a chance to go to a remote island together.
Oh my gosh.
In Indonesia, Painkiller Island.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, let's move on with this. Like, so you're here to tell. So the best part that I got to see too is that we took this pandemic as an opportunity. It was really like. For all those of us who are creatives, we saw it, one, as the biggest pause that the world has ever seen. And number two, Jimbo and I remember having this conversation going, there's this enormous vacuum. Like, this schedule that I had was full of meetings is now blank, right? And we were actually excited about it, right? It's terrifying as a business owner, but we were really excited about it. And so things that he's done is taken the box that he had, which doesn't quite work in virtual, and has done some things. So two things I wanted to say is, one is he created what I loved, he calls the origami box, which is we take a standard piece of paper and fold it into a box so that anybody could do it around the world. And it was really around the mindset. And I don't know if I've told you, I've been doing this consistently, probably 3 or 4 times a year with a Saudi Arabian audience.
Oh, fantastic.
And I actually discovered something really cool about that in virtual meetings, that if you give introverted people time to write for like 1 or 2 minutes, and then ask them what they think, they're more likely to talk as opposed to tell me something, right?
Yes.
And so the box actually helped me discover a new way to engage different audiences.
Yeah.
So I do that consistently. And so now what I'd love for you to do is just tell us, what has happened in the last 2 years, and where has the box gone and come and going
Right.
to? Yeah. Oh,
Well-
and do we need to go to the other area, or you want to
later.
wait?
Later.
Okay, good. We're going to wait on that. All right.
Yeah, no. So, like you, my business was very face-to-face.
Yes.
And you can't just suddenly ship boxes when airplanes aren't flying. You
Yeah.
can't really, And so we started teaching people how to fold a piece of paper into the shape of a box.
Yes.
The easiest origami in the world. It's a 1 down and 4 across. And exactly what you said. The feedback that I got was, number one is I think differently. I reflect differently when I'm writing with pen and paper. And the great thing about Miro and Mural and infinite whiteboards and a lot of the capture methodologies is that it takes what's in your brain and it makes it public to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're doing reflection on your thinking, you may not want everyone to see everything that you're thinking.
Okay.
So it allows that private reflection. And exactly what you said, if you give people 1 minute,
Yeah.
okay, this is the big tip. The big tip in the first 15 minutes. If you're asking people to go into a breakout room to share their thinking,
Yeah.
have them write it down on a piece of paper beforehand. Because, number one, it gives them a chance. Number two, you see all the people who have no idea what you're talking. We're supposed to think about something.
Oh, right.
And so then you can give them the instructions again. And those are the people that go into the breakout room and say, what are we doing? What are we supposed to be doing
Yeah,
here?
I don't know.
Because I was, my body was there, but, my mind wasn't.
Yeah.
And so by all of a sudden stopping and having everybody write it down, you're giving a chance for those that aren't quite sure to look puzzled, and you can save them by saying, just in case you're not sure what the question is,
yeah, right.
let me just repeat that.
Yeah.
And if they're really lost, some people raise their hand. Hey, could you rephrase that question for me? Oh, sure.
For the third time. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. So that was one thing. And then the other thing about having that little piece of paper is I've got people who I meet now who say, oh man, 2 years ago I went to one of your Hack Your Box things. I still have that piece of paper on my desk. I still see that.
It's an artifact.
It's an artifact, a physical artifact that remains when the computer closes.
Speaking of which, actually, I'm going to leave for a minute and go get my artifact.
Yeah, you go get it.
So
You go
continue,
get it. Yeah,
continue
yeah.
storytelling.
Yeah. So that sense of having something tangible for the reflection, when you go into a breakout room, you already have what you want to share in your hand. And then when the meeting's over, you have a physical artifact that lives in the room instead of living in the Zoom. These are things that you can do. It doesn't have to be around the metaphor of a box. And then the other thing that's nice about it is making metaphors and bringing metaphors to life. And so I'm trying to think. I've got this word phygital, and the other one was metaphorical, metaphorsical. Okay. So metaphorsical is when you make the metaphor physical. Oh, okay. Right? Because you can't say metaphorical because that's already a word. Yeah. So metaphorsical, and that's what you've got there, which is the original box, which is probably going to be invisible depending on where you hold it. So can you get that on your head? This is.
So let me I got to tell a story.
Yeah, please.
This is a box. So again, Jimbo Clark, just to restate the story, somebody asked him this thing. Give me a
John, we lost your mic.
Oh, yeah, you do. Hang on a second. Yay, Donna. Thank you for being here. Look. 35 years, I can still get caught on mute. Meanwhile, okay, so Jimbo is getting asked here, to think out of the box, and he actually built a physical box, right? And the fun part about this, Jimbo and I were talking about this beforehand. I think approximately 2 years ago, we ran this box in my house pre-pandemic, and it's when I made this box. So Jimbo feels a little full circle-y as we come into that. Now, if we go into here, let's see what the vocal quality for myself in the box is. I think it's pretty
great
good.
because your mic's on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so this box was made in the exact same geographic location. 2 years and 4 months ago, 3 months ago, was before we went to the Florida down in Training Mag.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so we were here, all physical, putting boxes on our heads, and that was one of the last. That was the last session I did in America.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is that by getting metaphorsical, I just made that word up, metaphorsical. Well, now John has the feeling of thinking in the box. When you're under pressure and you're kind of, your brain is trying to force you into decision making and all this. And so we would get people to think in the box, so then they could think out of the box. And when you can think out of the box, there's a whole new physiological response.
And let me just add this part. So what we would do is, put things on the outside of the box of like what other people are experiencing or Jimbo's built a lot of metaphors with this, but let me just show you the inside of this particular box. This is what's on the inside, which is really cool. It has all these different ways to debrief. Oh, and if you didn't notice this part, let me see if I can do this correctly. If you do this part here correctly, this actually is green, of course, that's why it's showing through. Oh, just kidding. It's a battery, and it shows like this red side is a low battery, and this is a green battery. And so, why don't you describe a little more now about what the inside of this box means?
Yeah. Well, so the outside is my public self. It's what I put out there for others to see. We want to connect and protect. So on the one hand, I want to connect with you, so I'm going to put the easy things for us to connect. Yeah. But I also want to protect myself by not putting my vulnerabilities on the outside. Mm-hmm. On the inside, this front here is the filters. So we filter everything. We're trying to understand. And so we understand through past experience. We understand through our current context. And so we can identify what are the filters I'm using to try to get things done. And are those filters really helping me? And then, like you said, the left and the right have to do with energy. And so as I'm making decisions, unconscious decisions, some things energize me. And those energizing things are going to be on the right side. And these are the things that when I do them, I feel powerful, I feel confident, I feel I'm ready to go. And it's going to be easier for me to say yes to those things. And then there's those things that are de-energizing. And the de-energizing things are the things that are going to be, kind of dragging me down, that I'm not confident of, that I avoid, that kind of suck my energy, And so we can help people identify how they're making their decisions now just based on their preferences, on their values. And so if you can change the inside, then you can get different results on the outside.
And you've done this cool, like you said, you've boxed almost hundreds of thousands of people with this and really got to use it to change people's mindsets. And more importantly, you have this item here as a reminder, because that's the hard part of training, which is now I see this again going, wait a minute, I had this experience here and now I should do this. Okay, so now let's go through and maybe tell a little bit more what you did pandemic. You did some great innovations. By the way, I'm going to credit, which I already gave credit, Jimbo credit for creating the breakout room of one. Which is like, let's say you had 50 people, you create 50 breakout rooms, you put everyone in their own breakout room with nobody. Now, why would you do that? He created like a 3-minute reflective moment so that you wouldn't be disturbed by other people, so that you could reflect on something, and then everyone came back and then talked about it. And I haven't seen any other facilitator do this. So it's genius.
It's also a nice way of giving breaks.
Yeah.
So if you're giving a
5-minute break,
5-minute break, you put everybody in their own breakout room.
Yeah.
They got their own little timer.
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, if you want to chat with me, leave your breakout room.
Oh, give them the option. Yeah.
So then you can come back to the main room.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a way of giving them choice. So I did the hack your box with a little fold out box, the origami box.
Like
yeah. I did in 2000. I donated 88 sessions. Wow. For over 2,000 people.
Wow.
And
they were worldwide sessions too. I remember I attended a few of them. Yeah.
And part of that was my gift to the world. Part of that was me just figuring out virtual.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do you get good?
Fail faster. and we failed a lot.
I was the fastest failer on the planet.
Oh, wait. He had the other invention. The other invention was a 4+1 breakout, because Zoom in the original state had a 60-second timer at the end that you couldn't change. And so he would create a 4-minute breakout. Then it had a 60-minute timer, so he would call it 4+1 so that people understood. And by the way, it's still one of my pet peeves when people run breakout rooms and don't tell me which format it is.
Yeah.
Because I try and end it on time, and then like, damn it, they put a 30-second timer at the end.
And you're just there, you're expecting to say, and that's how it is. And then you see 60 seconds, you're like, oh,
I know.
What do you think? No. Here's my other one. Okay. I mean, here's my other innovation for Zoom that I liked. Especially people now they know, but back in the early days, before I put them into their first breakout room, I would put all of us into one breakout room.
Oh yeah. I've seen this.
Then I would point them up. It's okay. I want everyone right now to point to the timer.
That's right.
How much time do you have? Divide it by the number of people in the breakout room.
Yeah.
And that's how much time you have to talk. And if you talk more than that, you're saying I'm more important than the other people. I don't really care about you guys. What I've got to say is so much more important than what you have to say, because everyone can do the math. And so I found that by just taking that, and I would put it in for a 2-minute, everybody in breakout. Here it is. Everyone point at it. Do you understand? Thumbs up. Okay, great. We come out, push, and I would do that before a random breakout.
Yeah.
Push random breakout. Okay, guys, go practice your timers.
Yeah.
So my innovation. So the innovation was the using that little piece of paper. And then I found out, well, I have my way of using it. And I met this woman, Alice Richard, who's living in Switzerland.
Oh. And
she's into sustainability.
Yeah.
And in one of my sessions, I was talking about, I realized I want to live a more sustainable life. So she, hey, I've been thinking about sustainability too. So she and I co-created a sustainability program. It's been used by the United Nations.
Whoa.
It's been used by companies all over the world around sustainability, because all it takes is a Zoom call and one piece of paper and one pen.
Very cool.
Can you get more sustainable than that?
And you can recycle the paper if you don't keep it.
And we ask them to bring one recycled piece of paper. They fold it up. They use it. And I've met so many people that I'm sure you get this too when you meet someone and they say, "Oh, you're the John Chen."
Oh, occasionally.
Yeah,
I
get the you're the Jimbo.
Yeah, you're
it's
the
like,
Jimbo.
Oh, you're the Jimbo. Oh yeah, I went to Alice's sustainability program.
Oh.
So she's done it all over the world. And then Shilpa from the Learning Gym. I don't know if you've ever met Shilpa before.
No.
If you haven't, look up Shilpa in the Learning Gym. She and I did one on diversity and inclusion.
No, that's a hot topic right now. Still a hot topic.
Still a very hot topic. And it was the kind of thing that people thought you can really only do in person, right? We can't have those kind of deep conversations in Zoom.
Well, and the whole in and out of the box thing is that you needed to have the belief that it was possible before you did any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you started with that belief, like it's impossible to do deep DI work on virtual,
Yeah.
then you're right.
Yes.
And then you never had opened up the possibility to just try and screw up and fail and sometimes find something magical.
Yeah, it's exactly. There's the magic in the mess. And
I love that. Oh, I also love when we were on the island, right? All these people found these massage people that were on the island, and everybody, like, Jimbo had this amazing, immaculate agenda, and everyone left for the massage.
Yeah.
Right? And then what were you saying? The quote was, "It's not the message, it's the..."
the magic is in the mess is what I just said there.
No, the other one was like, "It's not the message, it's the massage." Something
yeah.
like that. So, and that was the whole agenda for this whole gigantic, beautiful outdoor retreat.
We had this retreat, and then once we realized that everyone was getting massages, we would go to the appointment book, and we would block 2 hours in the morning in the appointment book, and block 2 hours in the afternoon.
And that way
you
could have your stuff.
So
Then
the
you'd see
people
them
could
get it.
actually.
It took you a day to learn that. I remember that.
It did.
Anyways,
Yeah.
all right. So back to box. So your innovations. Now the box has actually kind of, should I say, mutated. The box has progressed somehow.
Yeah. So we went from the sustainability,
Yeah.
inclusion. Let me just say one thing about the inclusion piece.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing about the box on the inclusion piece is it does cover this, how I look on the outside, how I appear. And what we focus on is when I'm feeling valued, heard, and respected, what behaviors would other people see in me?
Okay.
And when I'm not feeling valued, heard, and respected, what behaviors might other people see in me?
Well,
And so we're creating awareness of what behaviors I might show when something's going on the inside. And we do this before we even talk about how you might feel or what's going on. Is just, how do we notice when you've crossed a line? How do you notice when your line has been crossed? And how do you care for the outside of you so that you can keep those connections? And we found that's a perspective that as we do these programs, people say, boy, nobody ever talked about this. Nobody ever talked about taking responsibility for how I impact meetings. When I don't feel connected, what do? I do this.
Oh, yeah.
I check out.
Yeah.
And that now as a checked out person, how much influence can I have? Or if I'm running the meeting, how do I pay attention to the body language to know if somebody's not there? And so bringing that awareness up, it's been really, really a great one. So we did all those hack your boxes, and I'm the kind of guy that once I figure something out, I got to figure out the next thing.
Of course you do.
Yeah. And so the next thing was, how can we make people who are separated geographically feel connected?
Yeah, that's super important.
Yeah.
Right.
And I fell in love with a platform called Topia, topia.io. And it became, I think some people did sourdough bread. Some people got a pet. Everyone had their thing they did when they were locked in.
Yeah.
So last year in Taiwan, we did get locked in for about 2 months. I just built worlds on Topia.
You did.
And so the whole idea was, can you facilitate through world building? And as an event planner, how many times did you fly to an event space before the program? You just did recently, right?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. I was in LA. Yeah.
So that sense of space for connecting people is so important. Does it have light? How are we going to set the room up? Let me hear the sound. Oh no, we got to.
That's right.
All of these things are key to making connections.
Yes.
And so that sense of place doesn't exist in Zoom.
Okay.
The sense of place is just little X's and maybe your screen behind you.
Sure.
But you don't get that sense of place. And so we talk about the space between. So there's people, process, and place.
Oh, slow down.
People, process, place.
Place. Okay, go ahead.
So people, the great thing about virtual is that right now we're connecting with more people than we ever could have, because not everyone's going to come to your house today.
I don't want everyone to come to my house yet. I'm not.
Party at John's, please. Right? So the great thing about virtual is we can expand people.
Okay.
Process. People spent the last 2 years trying to figure out, how do I shift process?
Right.
Mural, all these wonderful tools, so we can shift process.
And you spent a lot of time on those two platforms.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
But then place. How do we create a sense of place? How do you create a sense of arrival? How do you create serendipitous connections? How do you create agency? How do you create choice? How do you create the ability to say, oh, thanks, it was nice seeing you, John, and just walk away, right? And that's one of the things that people tell me about Topia. What I like about Topia is I can walk away.
Yeah, and like in the real world, we do this like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, right?
Or more people join the conversation, and there's 6 of us here, and there's just a point where you say, you know what? Oh,
There's a gathering.
someone over there.
Yeah, let's hang
so
out.
I'm just gonna say, hey, you guys go ahead and have your conversation,
Yeah.
and then I find my other conversation. And so,
Yep.
creating a space where people can have agency and choice, freedom is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other part of Topia, which you're going to see in just a second, is its world building.
World building.
And so here's a little known fact about Topia.
Okay.
The first line of Topia, the code,
Yeah.
first line of code of Topia
Yeah.
was written the day that Burning Man was canceled in 2020.
Wow.
Because most of the early people in Topia are burners.
Okay.
And so they said, we can't have Burning Man.
So
And
we're
so
going to do
we're
something
going to
else.
create a platform for Burning Man.
Yeah, this is where opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, challenge comes
Yeah.
opportunity. This is very cool.
And so
I didn't know that.
So Topia, I always say, well, I usually say, in polite company, I say, Topia is if Minecraft and Zoom went to Burning Man and had an LSD infused love child.
Guess what we're having for dinner, people?
So that's the polite version.
That's the polite version.
But it is. It's you're all those things you can do in Minecraft.
Yeah.
You can, not all of them, but you can build that in container.
Yeah.
You build the container.
Yeah.
And so basically, I've created virtual event spaces,
Mhm.
and now I rent them out. So tonight, after we're finished here, I'm going to be hosting an event that's taking place in Hong Kong
Yeah.
on my virtual event space
Yes.
from your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can.
Yeah. And so then once I learn how to do that, then I can start playing with it in the box.
So should we take a look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it?
yeah. So
Are you ready?
I want to introduce you guys to an event I ran, and so it's going to take. It's an hour and a half event. You guys. So if you need to get a drink, if you need, it's an hour and a half. We're just going to watch the video of this hour and a half event here. So no, don't go. I sped it up so it's 60 times faster. So that hour and a half event will take 90 seconds.
Okay, here, let's jump. On the count of 3, jump.
Okay,
Ready?
ready?
1, 2, 3. Jump.
Okay.
What
So right now, sorry. So right now you can see these are people coming in.
Here, I'm gonna get out of the
trying
way.
to figure it out. Okay, there we
There we go.
People are coming in. As they come in, they go to these little campfires, and they have different conversations. There's little topics for them. Now I'm getting everybody to meet in the middle. Okay, everybody come meet in the middle. There's still people running around doing whatever. We're doing our introductions. Now we're on a part of the screen that you can't see. They're learning how to dance, and they're coming down over. They're going to come down over here in a
To the
second.
circle-y thing, right?
Yeah. Now they popped in here because we went to another part. Now we're doing the opening of the event. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, over here. I would make a terrible
Weather person.
Weather person. But now you can see they're running off to their different conversations. So each one of these different places a different conversation. And so as the movement starts to slow down, that means the conversations are getting better. But then you see there's still some people who are running around. And that's what doesn't happen in Zoom. Number one, in Zoom, you can say, okay, these are the topics, and you can go to whatever Zoom room you want to go to.
Right.
But here you actually have the ability to kind of walk around, get close, hear what people are saying, go to the bar, have a drink or not, but have a virtual drink. And it's very metaphorical. So each of the different topics, like I've got Christmas, what's the gift of COVID? So you can take artifacts that have meaning. I got that little 8-ball, what are we thinking about the future? And then we did the closing ceremony over there. So here we go. We're going to get one more time here. So it'll just kind of keep going. They spawn in over there. They walk in. They have free conversations at the campfires. We take care of everybody. So when you're... Oh, you're good.
Now, the 8-ball is a work... I've been in this place. This 8-ball over here is a working 8-ball,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So you click, you ask your question, you click on it, and it'll tell you the answer to your yes/no question, just like when I was a kid. And
Decidedly
every artifact that you see on this
This
Earth,
world.
this
Yeah.
world, A, I put it there, and B, they're free artifacts from Topia. So Topia has, I think, like 700
library.
They have a huge library
Yeah.
of different things. And then now I'm getting into building my own artifacts, and it's not hard. It's just a PNG.
Yeah.
You
And
make a
when you have an
PNG.
artist in the family,
I
so
do
how
have an
hard
artist
is
in the
that?
family. Yeah. So we started playing with Topia, creating worlds for open space, creating worlds for brains on the beach.
Yeah.
And then I started asking myself, how could I use this with the box?
Okay. So
Yeah.
here comes the next innovation.
Yeah. So then I sent you a link. I don't know if you've had on your email, I've got a link for another world,
Yes.
and that world is actually a questionnaire that I use for, are you an out-of-the-box thinker or an in-the-box thinker?
Okay.
So is that something we can pop up?
Yeah, let's
Will I
keep
explain
talking.
it? So I'm going to keep talking. So this is the evolution of this in and out of the box thinker questionnaire. So everyone thinks that innovators are, these kind of really creative people, and that, if you're not an innovator, if you're not an out of the box thinker, that you're not creative. And so there's been a lot of research that has shown that there's really two ends of creativity. One is that innovator who's able to think new thoughts and let go of the past and try the new, which John Chen is an amazing innovator. And then there are the adapters. They are the people who are able to find improvements. So, I mean, like in today's words, you've got Elon Musk over here, and you've got Warren Buffett over here.
Okay,
Now-
are you ready? I can
Yeah.
actually go here. Okay,
Yeah,
ready?
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, really use a lot of mental energy. Ready? On 3, 2.
So I got to jump, right?
No, just use a lot of mental energy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah, blow your mind. Right. This is
Okay.
another Jimbo Clark convention. Everybody, yeah, Renee. So wait, let's bring a few people with us. Could I do this? Here, I'm just going to go to gallery. I don't have to do that. Okay, yeah. Okay, everyone put your hands on your head. 2 hands on your head. On the count of 3, blow your mind. 1, 2, 3. That was Jimbo Clark's invention. I borrowed that a lot. I gave him credit too. I gave him credit.
Yeah,
for that. Okay.
you know.
Now speaking of which, let's see if we can go here.
There we go.
Okay, so here is this other real world. This is a live browser we're looking at.
Yeah.
It says, "Are you an in and out of the box thinker?" And so I should just put my name in here.
You can just enter. Yeah.
Okay, and enter as a guest.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I should get paid by Topia, man.
You should. You should be like, yeah. Welcome. to
I love it.
Topia,
There's
blah, blah,
such
blah.
good people. They're
Yeah.
it's owned by a commune.
Okay,
They're
it's
just-
owned by a commune.
It
Hey,
is a collective.
Here for my other people who are in my virtual audience today on Zoom. Here, I gave you the link
Yeah,
too.
please do.
You can click this on another browser, on another screen, and come join us.
Yep.
Careful about the mics. You probably want to leave your mics or the audio unconnected so you don't echo.
Or just mute. There, you'll see on that when you have a choice there. You can see there's the little. If you're looking at John's screen right there, there's a camera and there's a mic. Just click the mic to mute it.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna try and get my mic, and then I can mute it here.
Yeah, right there
Oh, here.
on the video there. So now you're
Okay.
muted. Okay.
All right, we're in here.
All right. So there you are. Okay. So can you do me one favor?
Yeah.
Click on the little guy up in the top left.
Top left.
Yeah. And then go down to where it says My Video Position. It says Top Center down at the bottom here.
Oh, okay, way down here. Top
Yeah,
center.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then choose Bottom Center. It just
Bottom center.
yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. It gives you a little more real estate, and I just like it better.
Okay, and
Okay.
actually,
So now you're going to go
probably-
north because you're on an island here and you're at the water. So you're going to go north.
Okay, I'm just going to turn my camera off because it's just
Yeah,
our map of it.
sure.
Okay, so I'm going to go north.
And if
I'm
you want to
walking.
zoom out just a little bit, you can
Oh, yeah.
control minus. There you go. There we go. Okay, that's cool.
Okay, good.
So now the whole idea of this questionnaire is that when you're thinking about a puzzling situation, you're trying to be creative.
Uh-huh.
What do? And so you're going to walk through this world,
Okay.
and you're going to come to this thing. So you're thinking about a puzzling situation, and you got a choice here. So John Chen, what do?
Do I spend more time generating more new possibilities or spend time researching fewer higher quality solutions? Oh, more.
Yes.
I'm definitely a more guy.
Yep. So now you're going to go there, and now you're going to go up to the next one.
This is like a select a quest for
Yes,
Utopia.
exactly. This is exactly what it is.
This is really cool. Okay, look to the big picture or dive into the details. Oh, now wait
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
But this is a tough one. Now, but you're saying, no, re-say the scenario again? It's a
You're
big
in a
challenge.
puzzling situation. You're
Oh, yeah.
trying to figure out something that you can't figure out.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the big picture first.
Yeah.
The details come later.
Yeah.
Okay. Prefer ideas that call for major change or prefer ideas that provide incremental. Oh, so let's blow some stuff up, man.
Yes, you do.
As you can see, I'm all blue here. I'm gonna increase ideation to generate more possibilities. Increase discipline to drive execution. Now,
Yes.
I do have some execution.
You have a
parts.
lot of execution, man.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't know. I would probably still I would. So I actually have to tell you my problem-solving style. Even at Microsoft too, I wanted to learn every single feature, right? So then when I did come to a problem, I would know what to use. Does that make
Perfect.
sense?
It does.
So
It
I'm going
does.
to go this way.
Okay. Last question. This is the
question.
last one. It's a 5-question quiz here.
Okay, take a risk on ideas that might be game changers. Play it safe.
Yeah. So then now you're way over here on the left side, and it says you are a very out-of-the-box creative. And if you want to, you can click on the easel,
Okay, I'm clicking.
and then you get a you get a little report that pops up, and you can download
Whoa.
that, and it kind of just gives you a little bit of information.
Is this you with Valerie with a Y did some of this stuff?
Yeah, so that was what that was. So this is what that was based on.
So let me kind of zoom this in here. Very mildly, and so this is you are very out of the boxing room means I'm way over here.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. It's not uncommon. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You may expect others to see the genius in your method, even if there's little evidence. It'll be up. Okay, my virtual audience is cracking up. I think I appreciate that.
So then once they have that, then you're going to go keep going up north again. So they've. In fact, here before you do that, zoom way out. Zoom way out. 'cause
Whoa. Hold on. Oh yeah, so way out.
yeah, there you go. So now you
Oh,
can
look-
see how big the world is.
Wow.
And so now those people have they've chosen their own adventure, and now on this side of the trees are where I've got my out of the box thinkers.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the trees where I got my in the box thinkers.
Okay.
And they're very in the box thinkers and mildly in the box thinkers.
Okay.
And then they go into the box to talk about it. So you see there's a little box there, right?
Okay, so I'm in the
So
box.
then they meet in the box and they have a conversation with the others.
Okay, so I'm gonna zoom back.
Yeah, zoom
in.
back in.
Oh, and it's your box.
Yes, it's my box.
with a couch.
Yes.
How cool is that?
My daughter's pretty cool. She helped me make that.
Aw,
Yeah.
oh, I can see her. I see her pillow.
Yeah. So
I see,
now
yeah.
you go into the box with your other in the box thinkers, and to the left there you've got your descriptions.
Dives
And the
into-
question is, what are the gifts? You know,
Aw.
like what are you bringing to this
Here,
team?
Wait, there you go. What are the gifts of in the box creativity? Because there
Yeah.
are gifts.
Yeah, and it's creative, and that's the one thing I always tell people is that in the box creativity is creativity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you watch MacGyver, you watch, you look at people, Toyota, Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
Am I bumping it?
Oh no, I need it up.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, there you go. Oh, hey, there we go.
Donna says yes.
Thank
you,
you.
Donna.
So then after they've had their discussion about the gifts, then they're going to go into the middle. So if you go to your left there, and I can call people to me. And,
I know. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I'm behind the sign too. Look at me. I'm behind
Right.
the sign. How
And so
cool
you
is
do
that?
it that way so that if you want to share something, you stand behind the sign and have everybody stand behind the sign with you,
Oh.
and then they can see it on their screen.
Now wait, I can sit down, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You yep. Isn't that great?
That's so relaxed.
And then
It's so chill.
let's imagine that you've got 20 people here, and there's some that are in the box, and there's
Yeah.
some that are out of the box.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, I'd like someone from the in the box thinkers to share with us what you learned. So then go stand on the mic stand there.
Okay. Hello.
Yep. Now we'll see how it changed. It says
Oh.
smile. You're broadcasting. So now
Hey.
everybody in the world can hear you,
Hey.
and so then you can bring people up and have them share their ideas.
Super cool.
Two more things. Just
Yeah.
go stand behind the poster that's just north of you.
The big
Okay.
thing, okay.
So then this is kind of our closing. We get everybody to stand here and we talk about how all of us have the capabilities to do all of this. And we can all diverge and we can all converge.
All right.
And the key is to know where you are in the process. And you even found that as you're asking the questions. Well, I have a lot of execution in me,
Yeah.
but I'm going to start here.
Yeah.
And so then by identifying the areas where maybe you're not as strong, if you needed an out-of-the-box thought, talk to John, right?
Yeah.
If you need someone to help you make a plan, maybe talk to Donna. So you want to find those people that are different than you because they complete you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you complete me.
So now we've done this. There's one last thing I got to share.
Okay.
So now head east.
Left. No, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, east. That's
My
why-
bad.
That's okay.
I had a 50-50 shot there.
Yeah, I know. And just keep going. And see, there's a little box there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, click on that box, and we're going to teleport to the final world.
Ready? 3.
It's going to
two,
ask you. It's going to
1.
ask you. Don't get too excited. There you go.
Portal.
Yeah.
We can go?
Yeah.
Portal.
Yeah.
Wait. I got music. I just want you to see Jimbo dance some more.
So now this is where we do the wrap up. So if you just zoom out, we won't walk around on it, but you can just zoom out.
Oh, look at that. You got chairs.
Yeah, so we got, how is your box trapping you? So we got like a little jail, little box jail.
Aw.
Isn't that great?
Box jail, yeah.
Yeah, then you got the gifts of the box. How is your thinking helping you? We got little chairs so people can sit. So if they sit by the chair, it just means I want to have some private. And you can see down in the left corner, it says you're in a private zone, only one person.
Where's that?
Down in the left corner. Oh, here, go to another chair. Go sit on another chair.
Oh, over here?
No, just one of these. Like right. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see.
And then look. Sit on one of those. Just get on one of those chairs, and then look at the bottom left. You'll see of your screen. You'll see that there is a little thing that says you're in a private zone of one person.
Oh, okay. That's this little message way down here. Yeah.
That's
okay.
where they. So then that means that nobody else can come up and talk to you.
Oh.
So if you want to have some personal reflection, sit by the lake.
Oh.
If it was quiet enough, you could hear the river, the little river, because you can put in sound.
Oh.
And then we have them come over here, sit around the campfire, have
Yeah.
little conversations with partners.
Okay.
And then they go through the microphone and make their final
mic.
sharing with everybody. And then we take a group photo inside the box.
In this box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Around the couch. Oh, wow.
Right. And so I did this for a European company, and on the evaluation, the person said, "Well, the worst thing about this program was I wasn't planning on really attending. I had a lot of work I had to do,
Yeah.
but every time I started to lose a little bit of interest, I had to move.
Yeah.
I had to move my guy. And so every time, they would start to go away, it would move. There's one other thing that's really cute, and we'd have to show it. Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Can you flip your tab but leave this screen showing? Because
Yeah.
what happens
One
is
sec.
your character actually changes.
So, you want me to go to another tab?
Yeah, go to another tab, but keep sharing this one.
Okay, hold on. I gotta go to another tab and move it.
Okay. So maybe it won't work this way. If you basically in Topia, if you go off, your little guy sits down and puts headphones on and starts looking at his computer. So if you start doing
yeah.
your email or anything like that, it
Okay,
kind
let's
of
see. Let's see if I gotta start. Okay, stop. Blah blah blah. Search Jimbo Clark. When does he sit down? Does he sit down?
no, because it's still
He
Still
thinks I'm doing
active.
something.
it's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
All right.
Yeah. So
Well,
here's an example.
What you're saying though is that the Topia has a built-in I'm distracted
Yes.
monitor.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And it's a guy with headphones on with his computer out. It's like, hey, don't bother me. Don't bother me. I'm busy.
Don't bother me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, super cool, Jimbo. And let me just go into this last piece. Oh, I love that he was still walking. Is that world building is something that they're talking about right now in VR. So
Yes.
I am experimenting in like Oculus and
Yes.
the Quest 2 world, and that world building has that piece. And again, you've already done some early pieces of it. The cool part about this kind of virtual world building too is that it doesn't require all the headsets and all the other stuff. So I think that's important. But the concept of world building, I think what it means to me, like I've taken some small pieces, like in Zoom, did you know that if you're the host, you can drag windows around, meaning that you can arrange people back into certain places. And so things that I would do is like if there's 9 people, I'll move the speaker to the middle.
Yeah.
So that you focus on the speaker, but now you can easily see everyone else around there. So these are small things like this, but this goes much more in depth. And so why don't you give your final closing thoughts? And wait, are we going to see these other improvements with your box or not?
Do you have 3 minutes?
Yeah, we have 3 minutes. So wait, but let me ask the question, and then we'll
Yeah.
come back to the last
Yeah,
piece.
sure.
Is that why is world building so important to you?
Oh, well, here's the deal. This metaverse thing,
Yeah.
whatever it becomes,
Okay.
there is a barrier to entry.
Yep.
But Topia is free. You can get up to 20 users
Yep.
on your world for free. And what you can do is you can put people on and then watch how they behave. You think, oh, I'm going to put this here and everybody's going to walk there. But they don't. And so once you really start building worlds and you give people agency and choice, you need to know how to predict behavior. You need to know how to
Yeah.
predict, and you need to learn how to know what people are willing to do in that world and what they're not.
Yeah.
So, for example, I would spend tons of time where I'd link a mural board or a Padlet and say, okay, so as you're talking, you can take notes and these, and nobody does it.
Nobody
Why?
does it.
Because they're excited to be with each other. They're in the moment,
Yeah.
and so then don't try to force them to do those things in this space. So you can get all of those skills through building a world to contain
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for everything, right? So then if you need people to do so it's just like outdoor events don't work for the whole meeting.
That's right.
You want an outdoor event for 2 hours out of the day, right? Maybe it's the same thing for something like Topia or whatever metaverse. It's not like you're going to have an entire meeting that's all in that, unless you're in a company that's invested all
Heavily
in that.
in that, yeah. So I think it just gets to the point too, though, which is your environment, right? As an educator and a facilitator, really matters.
Yes.
And then in this case here too, what I've always told people about virtual now, it gives us the opportunity to do things we could never do. Like for you to build this world, you'd have to have a lot of money and own a real property and like, and there's a whole bunch of things with that. But here you can actually put these things together for, little or no cost.
Yes.
And experiment. Okay. Well, that's super cool. Let's go ahead and see this.
That's the key of Phygital, right? Because we were Phygital. And so my last thing to share is the box that John got 2 years ago, and the box that we're just printing now is different. And the reason is I was shipping boxes around the world trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And you know when you got a great program. You know when people are engaged.
Yep.
And you know when you don't.
Yep.
And I, as the creator of the box, had a hard time running a great physical box program virtually.
Right.
It bothered me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Even when they said it was okay.
Yeah. No. They thought, oh, this is great, the best thing we ever had. But
Yeah, your standard's too high.
Yes.
In a good way.
Yes. And so I was frustrated. I went through 8 different, metaphors and decks and ideas. And then we say, change your box, change your world. I thought, what if I change the physical box? So now what we have is in our box, after you've gone and you made it useful, and this is just the prototype, so it's all white, then there's going to be a point in time where, in fact, I saved one for you, John. So there's a little perforated. I can show you here. So there's a little perforation here on the side of the box. You can't even see it. And I'm gonna. Have you ever done a board break? Of course you've done a board break. Okay. So now I want you to. You're going to write. What are the thoughts that you're willing to let go of?
Oh, cool.
What is it that's stopping you?
Yeah.
You write it here. I'm going to hold it. I want you to break through.
Push right now.
Yeah, sure.
3, 2. Yeah! Oh, I'll get a little tear, but
and there it is.
There it is.
Right, and so whether you're doing this face to face or virtually, everybody is having that endorphin rush and the metaphorical experience in the Phygital world.
Metaphorical. I'm going to get this one. Metaphorical.
And then so we do that on our decision making, but we also do it on our filters that we use to understand. So people say you need to, have a more open mind. Well, what happens if you open up? Yeah, open up your filters. And so 2 things happen. I'm sorry, I'm kind of geeky about this. 2 things happen. Number 1 is you have the rush of doing that, of breaking paper, of hearing it, of smelling it, all those things.
So, tactile.
Yes.
Kinesthetic,
somatic. The other thing that happens is when you put this box on your head, it's more comfortable. Right? It's like, oh yeah, and this is what happens when we have a breakthrough in our thinking.
Yeah.
We drive ourselves crazy.
Yeah.
And then we say, oh, I could just do this, and all of a sudden the birds sing again.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable in my thinking.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want. I want people to find what is the change in your thinking that's going to make you comfortable, confident, and capable of getting what you really want. And so then they map that and feel it. And if you can do that with 100 people around the world where everybody is having that same experience, when they go into the breakout to talk about what are they breaking through, how are they changing their thinking, the depth of sharing goes whoosh.
And that's one thing I know that people do want now. 2 years into pandemic, people want deeper conversations, want to be able to tackle more challenging work, whether it's virtual or in person.
And they want an experience. Right? And you ship stuff. You get oh my God, what is this? Oh, we're drawing on it. Oh, pictures. Put the box on and go on outside and take a picture of yourself.
They're hilarious.
Yes.
Especially when you have like 30, 40, 100, 200 people. Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden, all of those things become that shared experience.
Yeah.
And then the last question that people ask me is, well, isn't it tough to ship boxes? And I say it's easier to ship a box than it is to ship a person. And we used to do this all the time. We used to ship people even across town.
Yeah.
And in terms of like global sustainability, it's less of a footprint for shipping a box than it is for having flying people together.
Person.
Yeah. And so let's make that magical, meaningful, and memorable.
Oh, super cool. Well, let's do this. We do have our virtual audience here. Does anybody have a question? We have a couple people with us. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute. Bueller, anyone? Bueller?
Well, I don't have a question right now. My mind is just going, oh, this is so cool. Love it. Love all of it.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, Renee, how about give us one piece of feedback? What was like what's some things that either opened your mind or boggled you a little bit, or?
I love the way you did the decision making and branching to get to in the box and out of the box thinkers. That's just so powerful, and it's right there, you know. And the new box. I mean, I'm already a fan of Jimbo's before this, but this is just like, how could it be better? It is now. Like, wow.
Oh, thank you, Renee.
Thank you so much.
It's fun. It's fun watching people, and you got a whole group taking the test. It's really fun to watch it too. And I'll record it, and you can play it back for them, and they can watch their indecision. Little guys, they're like walking back and forth.
Yeah, you could do a
and
time
they have
lapse.
little conversations. Like, well, gee, I'm here. You see people getting stuck. And of course, the left side goes really fast, and with the out of the box and the in the box thinkers are like they just stand there, and you can just watch it. And all this is part of what you can show them. You can show them the physicality of it. It's so much fun.
That'd be great at Myers-Briggs tree like that. And you get to the end. Oh, you're an ENTJ, John. Duh. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
A big tree.
Thank you so much, Renee.
Yeah, thanks, Renee. So good to see you.
Thank you. It's awesome.
All right. Let's do this. To Jimbo Clark, if people wanted to find you in the real world, where would they find you at?
Well, one nice thing about using Jimbo Clark is if you look at LinkedIn, there's only one. If you look up Jim Clark, there's 6 million. Jimbo Clark, I'm the one with the box on my head. So that's super easy. My email is jimbo@innogreat, INNOGREAT, innovate to greatness.
Yeah, Innogreat.
Innogreat. And if you want to see the box in action, you can go to box.innogreat.com, and there's videos and more than you would ever want to know.
And check those out. Quite often, Jimbo does run a number of open programs so you can experience this. It's his gift to the world. I have sat through many of his programs. Every time I go, I learn something new. And so that's why you got to know who Jimbo Clark is. Now, in the real world, I can actually do this thing, which we haven't been able to do for a long time, which is this. There we go. Thank you so much, Jimbo Clark. Check it out, right? The only Jimbo Clark on LinkedIn and Innogreat, INNOGreat.com. And I hope you enjoyed this happy hour. We'll see you next time because Jimbo and I can drink now. Bye.
Don't we start
John
people
Chen dance.
and keep going people, show you got heart.